The World Cup is back! Welcome back to the WebCast, All Sports One Web. The World Cup has finally arrived. A great first 3 days of World Cup action. We are finally back in the studio giving you all of the insight on this U.S. men's team in Qatar as we go through the group stage. Yesterday, a huge day at Qatar, the first multi-game day. We had 3 games yesterday. England kicking us off with a great performance against Iran out of Group B there. 6-2 winners for the English. They sit atop of Group B, but we are going to focus for this episode on the U.S. and Wales. What a great game. And the biggest talking point for me going into USA Wales was who is going to start up top. We went through what we wanted to see here from us at the WebCast Sports with Gino Reyna playing that false 9. We were kind of hoping for it. We got the back 4 that we wanted. Robinson, Dest on the side, on the right wing, or left back, right back, and then in the middle, Tim Ream and Zimmerman. That was what we wanted to see. We thought the experience in the center pairing would do well. Zimmerman, unfortunate. Well, not really unfortunate. It was a stonewall penalty, in my opinion, a bad decision, but he had a great game outside of that moment for me. So still a great performance overall. Just one lack of judgment, Bale facing away, but we'll get into that a little bit later. And Sargent got the call up top. Now, Doug had mentioned that he wanted to give him a chance. He's doing great at Norwich, 9 goals, 19 games there in the championship for Norwich. He's really growing into that number 9 role, but he wasn't used that much up through qualifying. Obviously, getting the call up now was even a little bit of shock to even make the World Cup roster, and to start was even more surprising. But what a great first half he had, able to really make that ball stick. When you throw it up to your number 9, you need to, especially with the wingers that we have in Pulisic and Weah, this inside forwards running off, you need to have a center forward, a number 9 that's able to make that ball stick and be able to lay it off, holding a defender, being able to pin him, get the ball to feet. We saw on that great goal, he laid the ball down for Pulisic to be able to run onto. That created a great break, 2-on-2, and a nice through ball to Tim Weah to slot it home was absolutely fantastic. What an amazing first half from the U.S. Can't remember a better first half performance in a World Cup, and in at least the last 6 years from the U.S. They were fantastic. A little sprinkle of maybe the Arsenal fluidity that we've seen to start the season from Arsenal with the young players, the energy that they brought was absolutely fantastic. The interlink play, the Musa flick in the middle of the field to kind of flick around the Wales player there, just a little Cruyff flick, kind of play 1-2 there was fantastic. You could see the confidence, the energy that they were playing with. That first half was incredible to watch. Up 1-0, rightfully so at halftime against Wales, and I was just over the moon. I was like, this is it. This is it. Winning the first game. We heard Landon Donovan talking there on Fox Sports before the game, during halftime, all of that, how important it was to win the first game. 84% of the teams go into the knockout stage if they've won the first game of the group stage. And it looked like there was no way back for Wales, almost to the point where we were kind of sad that it was only 1-0 U.S. at halftime, because you felt like maybe you leave the door open a little bit there. But with the way that we were playing, you thought that it was going to continue. We were going to get more opportunities, and as long as we could finish those, then we would be okay. Wales obviously were not going to just go down without a fight. They switched tactically. They brought in a a big, 6'5" Kiefer Moore up top so that they could be able to play the ball into him, not require Dan James to outrun everyone or require Bale to move more than really he is able or wanting to do. Throw a big number 9 up there, let it stick, and let him play with the ball, bring the attack. And you could see Wales had a better identity, a better structure for how they could move the ball up and down the field by having that pinpoint up top. And Kiefer Moore was fantastic, absolutely fantastic for Wales. He was dangerous in the box, getting his head onto stuff. He made Tim Ream look like 4'11", just because of the way that he was moving in the box there. He seemed, unplayable with crosses at times. He was able to make the ball stick. As I said, Josh Sargent I applauded him for doing in that first half. So it was great from Wales to be able to turn that around. But I still thought with the U.S., the quality that was on the field, the way that we played in the first half, for those 15 minutes, we still had opportunities. We still were in the game to make things dangerous. But then around the 65th minute, 60th minute, 65th minute, you could see something switch. And that switch for me was we didn't have any more legs. That our players who were coming back from injury just couldn't cope with that kind of intensity for 90 minutes, which is not anything against them. And one of the reasons why I was kind of scared that Wales was our first match, because, it sucks that Iran lost 6-2 against England, but it was England and they lost. So at the end of the day, that's not going to make or break you getting out of the group for Wales, US, or Iran. It was really, what can you do against each other? And to be a young group with only one player of World Cup experience in Yedlin, as the U.S. is, to play Wales, such a pivotal game in the structure of the group, the first game, I thought was going to be difficult for us because you didn't know how we would cope with being there. We handled it extremely well in the first half because we threw everything at it. And we didn't handle it well in the second half because in the first half, we threw everything at it. And our energy went, our legs went, the quality of our substitutions were not very good. I don't know why Gino Reyna didn't see the pitch. We had the conflicting reports after the game. Greg Berhalter coming out and saying that Gio Reyna, we were saving him for he was like strained something or something like that. Gino Reyna said that he's fine. I don't know what the real story is there. Probably something in between. Maybe he was saving him for the England game, but in my opinion, I would rather beat Wales than give everything against England, because most likely England will go 9 points from 9 in this group. And in terms of being ahead of Wales or Iran, you really just need to be able to beat them, and then you're good to go to get lock up second place. And really, with this such a young team, being able to advance out of the group is an amazing accomplishment from my perspective. And especially with the lack of World Cup experience. Not only are we young, but we also don't have experience. I mean, you look at, some of the players for some other teams, they're young, but, they're playing in their second World Cup or something like that. This is our first time after missing out in 2018. And so great first half performance. Okay, second half performance. Also problems with the energy, but overall we take the point and we move on to Friday against England. Now, England, for me, after the 3 days of play, we've seen 8 games, 16 teams take the field over these last 3 days. And for me, England has looked the most impressive and up there with France. We saw, obviously, Saudi Arabia with the shock of the world, beating Argentina today 2-1, 2 amazing goals in 5 minutes there. Argentina just could not switch tactically in that second half to capitalize on the high line that Saudi Arabia was playing. I just could not understand why they weren't switching things up. You knew how Saudi Arabia was going to play. We saw Real Madrid capitalize on this kind of concept in the Champions League final against Liverpool a couple years ago. Real Madrid knew exactly how Liverpool wanted to play, and they knew exactly how you would beat Liverpool. And they tried to do that, and they did it, and they won. And to know how Saudi Arabia is going to play, to know that you are way better than Saudi Arabia on top of that talent-wise, and to not be able to break it down, especially when you got 3 offsides goals, that you knew would work again if you just kept doing it, playing a long ball, having someone run from deep inside midfield, run past the 7 that they had in a flat line in the back from Saudi Arabia, play a ball through with the likes of Di Maria and Messi on the pitch. I don't know why there was no tactical switch there, but anyway, England up there with France for me. And as a U.S. fan, I don't know what I want from this game. I want a good performance, of course, but I want the confidence to go into Iran over anything else. I want no one to get a second yellow, which is a huge worry for me. We already have a couple players booked from the first game. Tim Ream, Weston McKennie, and Sergiño Dest, all on yellow cards. And for me, if you get rid of those 3, if they all pick up a yellow card against England, then we are going to have an issue when it comes to Iran on the last game. And knowing that no matter what we do against England, even if we win against England, we really want to win against Iran to really lock up qualifying, especially, or lock up advancing into the knockout stages. So we need to have all of our pieces ready for that game. And we saw Iran, they got exposed there early, and then they tried to go for it, and England put 3 past them in 10 minutes. So we can't do that. We need to stay in this game as long as possible. Be very interesting to see the lineup that Berhalter goes with, knowing that Musa kind of picked up a cramp. McKennie looks like his thigh is still bothering him. Pulisic may not have the legs for 90 minutes yet. So it'll be really interesting to see how he approaches that game. Is he going to approach it with a defensive mindset to try and earn a point as a good result? Or is he going to try and go for it, hoping for all 3 points, and risk what Iran risked against a team like England that can hurt you in so many different ways, and get exposed early on and have the game be done and dusted after a quarter of an hour? And it's going to be interesting to see if we can pull a draw out of that game. That'd be absolutely fantastic. But really, all focus needs to be now on that third group stage game, a must win against Iran. And it's going to be great to see. But overall, a absolute incredible and encouraging performance, first half performance from the U.S. So let's hope that we can carry it on throughout the tournament. Super excited. So great to be watching World Cup soccer once again. It has returned. Let me know in your comments what you thought of USA Wales, what your prediction score is for England USA on Friday in Qatar. And from all of us here at the WebCast Sports, we will see you next time.